Hey guys, this is Iron Master here, doing our Division 5 Alpha review here. And today with me I have Derek Cannon, say hello.
Hey,
And then we got Michael's over here as our guest stars.
Yo.
So we're going to start off looking at the schedule for match week 2. Got a lot played, and I tried to get it beforehand, but then had a bad recording, so this is what we got. So first one, we got Lizard Beast versus Tooth and Fist. How do you think that game went, Michaels?
Uh, it was almost a tie, honestly, and I think it should have been a tie. I think we both dominated our drives, but he played really aggressive, and when he had the chance to break away, he overkilled it and decided to do GFIs that I didn't think were necessary and dropped the ball, and it flew out of bounds and pretty much went right into my hands. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, thank you, game. Um, but it was still fun, but I think it should have been a tie. So I think he got
Yeah.
robbed a little bit.
Yeah, he's kind of a do first, ask questions later kind of coach when I played him back in the day. So
Yeah,
it's good to see his style
really
hasn't
aggressive.
changed.
Not at all. He was doing GFIs all over the place to try and really put pressure on my cage, and
I'm guessing he stunty dodged literally through your line.
he stunty dodged through my cage for negative 2 die blocks, I think, a couple times.
Okay.
And I think the guy with the ball didn't have blocked that game. He got it at the end, but it was still kind of like, all right, I guess, you know. So
Yeah.
it was pretty ballsy stuff through the whole thing. So I wasn't sure like what he was gonna do, like
Mm.
where it would come from next.
Yep. So that's good to hear. Now, looking at the next matchup, we got the Wellington Shadow Society versus Merciless Avengers, which that's going to be Stringer Bell versus Owned, I believe. So this was a 1-0. I heard that this was a pretty close match with the Vamps, and Owen just barely got his dwarfs to actually do work and get that touchdown at the last moment.
Yeah, I watched it. It was weird that Wellington didn't really seem to take advantage of Hypno Gaze through most of the match, and I wasn't sure why.
I think one of the problems
But
with Hypnogaze is that you still have to base something.
hmm
So if you're basing like a dwarf, let's say, and you have to Hypnogaze it, then you're giving away a free block still, and your only armor value 8. So that could be why. And then also some people just don't know how to use it as effectively as it could, or don't want to risk it.
yeah, I don't know. It seemed like there were a few spots where it would have made a difference, but he mostly went for pretty good positioning versus the Chaos Dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he just started to hemorrhage players late in the game.
Okay. Yeah, looking at it, we got a couple injuries both ways. A killed Thrall, and, you know, not much damage. They both almost took the same amount of blocks. So, close match by the look of it. So then we got Fallen Wonders and Come On Consulting. So how'd that game go there, Dark Cannon?
um,
It was a tie, of course.
he, yeah, it was a tie. So he's a pretty new coach,
Hmm.
also new to Amazons, and yeah, he pretty much let me control the pitch, which is of course what Camry do. But I let him get one hit on my ball carrier and never recovered it during my drive. And then during the second half, they pushed him back to his goal line, and there was a loose ball, which again I couldn't actually manage to pick up.
Yep. So
He
you
did,
basically
however,
still
keep me
trying to
from
go for it.
pasting him too badly.
Yeah. It looks like a rough matchup for you because of the Amazons all having dodge and your guys all having not block. Kind of was
Yeah,
probably a bit rough.
yeah. I mean, you want to get three dies, but unless you seriously outman them, you're not going to get the three dies without guard. So
Yep. So you did get a Tomb Guardian MVP out of that, so that was pretty sweet. And
yeah, that MVP was really nice.
so looks like you're doing good. And you had one expulsion in that match, so you probably decided to tap dance, and he got sent off, and you're like, okay, I won't do that again. I don't have players.
Yeah, pretty much.
So next one's going to be the Grody Greens and the Fogmire Fenbeast taking a 1-0 over there. So not much to see. Rodder got MVP. A Loner Skink didn't get bought. I already checked that earlier. And some armor breaks. We had a bunch of injuries for the Grody Greens, and that probably let them control the pitch. And then we got a lot of SPP for them. So that was pretty good there. Then
wasn't Fogmire down to Source?
I believe they were down 2 Source, so it was just skink ball everywhere, and he had
Yeah.
to take it somewhere.
Yep.
So
And I think he ended up with a
MNG Crocs.
yeah, and that's a fresh Crocs. He just got that.
Yeah. So he's always going to be missing stuff at this point. So the next one we got is the Pro Elves, Tribu Urbana versus the Weenie Green Meanies, which are Goblins. And that went 3-0 for the, or 3-1 for the Pro Elves, so that just means that he went, I'm going to score. I'm going to score again, and I'm going to score.
Yep, that's pretty much how hipsters seem to play that.
Yeah. The Goblins did manage to get a touchdown, though, so he did something there right. He did not buy the Loner Goblin, and I think that lineman MVP really doesn't do too much for Tribu Urbana. Very light on actual hits and armor breaks, though.
I don't think there's any way to come out of a match with Goblins with any sense of pride, no matter what happens.
If you pitch clear, it feels pretty good.
Okay, maybe if you pitch clear. I'll give you that one.
So, not the best one, but he did at least do something in that game. Now, this next game. Poor Barak. Var Voyagers. They did not deserve this. Spoony Bard just decided to put it in the claw, and Chorfs got pasted. So, they still got less armor breaks than the Dwarfs. I don't think the Dwarfs have too much Mighty Blow to do stuff with. And Spoony decided to injure a lot of people.
Yeah, I watched that, and that was Nuffle was not kind to the Barrack Voyagers.
Yeah. Considering Barrack only got 5 SPP out of that, yeah, it wasn't pretty.
I think we all want to see that happen to dwarves, though.
Yeah, but
I have no problem with dwarves.
I think you got to start hating them first, and then it's good to see the claw come, and not before they even like develop to something you could hate.
Yeah, totally.
Then we got
Meanwhile, Spoonie's racking up the claw mighty blow pieces and the stat pieces, and
yeah. When we get to his team, when we're looking at it for analysis, I'll tell you a thing you can do to kill him. It's pretty simple, but to keep going on, we'll look at the Wayside Wandermongers and Trunkywood, which was a 2-0 for Trunkhead, and as you can see, it was a pretty healthy game. 6 passes total happened, but 5 for Trunkhead. 7 armor breaks for Trunkhead compared to the Wondermongers 6. And we had an expulsion, so not much actually happened. A couple injuries went around. But Trunkhead did get his SPP that game.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty good. Now, to look at the teams, we're going to be looking at Lizard Beasts first. So they're going to be down skinks, and their skinks are starting to look pretty bad. So Kiwi Bird, this is the time to replace this sidestep sprint one. It's time to get rid of him. Just toss him out. Go ahead.
That guy's got to go. Agility 1, niggled, and a smashed ankle. He's got to go.
Where are you seeing this Agility 1 at?
Oh, I was looking at number 10, sorry.
Yeah.
I think I smashed a couple of those ankles, actually, in that week 2 game.
Yeah. You could have done both, but the Agility 4, I have to say, he can actually keep, because that's still Agility 4.
Yeah, that's still useful.
But the other one, he's going to have to get rid of him. Like, having Sprint now just means he goes back to his normal movement, but riskier.
The Agility 1 guy is also niggled on top of his smashed hip, though. So, I don't know. That's a toss-up. Maybe keep it until you can build up another 1 or 2.
Yeah, he's going to keep him. With the way he plays, he doesn't really want to fire players, I would imagine, especially since he just sends them out. But I think a loner is better than the other. Go ahead.
He's still missing a source, so...
You're looking at Lizard Beasts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where is he
missing 5?
Oh, okay. Sorry, it looked like he had normal.
Got plus agility, which just seems like the biggest waste of team value to me.
Yeah, it's probably not his best choice, but he's like, hey, Nuffle gave it to me. I'm going to be silly. And
I don't think he tried to pick up the ball with him either when we played.
so that's interesting. It's only a 4+, so I mean, it's something you can
Sure.
do. It's like a weird
impossible.
bull centaur.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting piece. But yeah, he has to save up for the extra Saurus, which is 30k away. And once he gets that, he'll be back on track. He can fire a skink for free, and then he'll be back up. Other than that, his Saurus, besides the plus agility one, looked pretty decent. But it's nothing to really look at for a few seasons worth of games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a late addition to our div, and I noticed he was carrying most of his SPP in that Agisaurus and his Skinks.
Yeah. Really, his Agisaurus doesn't add much. It's all those skinks and then having an extra one that he, has,
Yeah.
but it looks like it's a normal team because he has 5 Saurus. So, I think if he got rid of one and then bought the extra Saurus, he's going to be at a decent TV again. But
Yeah,
it's
he
an
needs
interesting
to get a
team.
bench going to 11 players in this division is rough.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the Bar Akbar Voyagers, our dwarf friends that got slaughtered by Spoonie.
Still look good.
Still look good, and he's got an agility up, which I think was new from the last week. So,
No,
No, that
he
was
had that Agi 4 runner last week.
okay, so we didn't lose anything. We didn't gain anything. Actually, might have lost something because he has 0 money, but I can't tell what it was. It might have been a long beard.
Probably a Longbeard. I'm pretty sure Spoonie killed one of them.
Yeah, so he still has his 3 guard, which is about as many as he needs right now. Sad thing is the Amazons do have the same number, and I believe one other team has 3 guard too, that you wouldn't expect.
On paper,
So-
he's got a really strong team, though.
Yeah, on
overall,
paper,
it's-
but he needs the extra skills, I think. Like, if he had a Palm Troll Slayer, he might be doing a bit better. And then just these Blitzers, they don't have much identity to them, so I think they should probably be tackle and be more like safeties. The plus strength one, you might get guard on him because he's actually going to be pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But Dwarves are one of those weird teams where you're just like, yeah, stack those few same skills over and over again, and hopefully it works.
Yeah.
So,
Also,
Anything you
there's
gotta
a
say?
ball.
yeah. Yep, so, pretty solid team. Got clobbered. Feel sorry for him, but he isn't too bad off.
He came out of it surprisingly well. I thought Spoonie actually
Mhm.
did more damage.
Yeah. Definitely when you're in game and you see like a bunch of injuries, it looks terrible. But sometimes it's just like badly hurt, badly hurt, badly hurt. 1 permanent. So, moving on, we'll look at the Fogmire Fenbeast with Rolling Red. And this guy, yep, he was missing the 2 swords for that last match. He's got him back. I think he's still down. Nope, he's not down 1 because Saurus is all the way at the bottom.
Mhm.
So we got 6 Saurus, but we're missing a Crocs next game, but it doesn't matter because we have a really big bench for some reason. One thing I
He's
think
been
he
really lucky with not losing Skinks.
Yep. The one thing I think he can do is that he should cut the minus movement one and just play an 11-man team. He'll get 60k less TV for it. No bench, which is okay. And I don't think he's going to be doing too bad considering just being lower TV in this division means that you're not giving away inducements and you might get something out of it, like a Babe.
I don't know. I like having the bench. I mean, the Skinks are so fragile.
Well, it's the movement 7 one I don't like that. The one
Sure.
that doesn't have leader anyway. The one with leader I would keep because that's your greed reroll right there.
I think 13 players is just right, though, for Lizards. Especially in this league where you've got a good amount of bashy teams
Yep.
mixed in with a bunch of elves.
Fair enough. I just don't like it because of the 60k on. And a stunty is usually supposed to be like 40, so it kind of feels weird for it. But you get the movement 8, which is awesome. So, we're going to have to see how this one goes. So, he's doing pretty good. forgot his statistics. He is 3-0-3 overall, but let's see from just in here. If I can find it. So, he went against you. He got 2-0, and then he lost 1-0. So, he is 1-1 right now. So, he's not doing too bad. We'll have to be seeing how he does in week 3. But now we get to go and look at a disgusting Dark Elf team over here with Trunkywood. So, what do you guys think of this team?
It's terrifying.
I don't know.
Yep. So,
I think the 9 movement is silly. It just makes him a big target. So if he doesn't get removed, he's an awesome player, but everybody's just going to be like, punch that guy.
yep.
I
But
don't think it'll
Trunkhead's
last
pretty
long.
conservative with this guys from what I've seen. So, I think he's going to use him like a gutter runner that you actually care about and not wanting to get stomped.
Right.
So, I think it's a pretty amazing team considering he's already got a bunch of blodge setup and a tackle and a mighty blow.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
all he has to do is just get an extra witch elf and he's done.
Yeah, the extra movement on the Blitzer and the dodge on the Mighty Bull Blitzer are new.
Yeah.
So those are developing nice.
Yeah, it's just getting crazy. Like, one thing with Dark Elves is supposed to be you're having a long grind to get all your positionals in and your reroll and your
Yep.
apothecary, but he seemed to have been pretty good at conserving most of his team besides Lyman, which are what you want to die while you replace if you're going to lose anything. So his team's just been looking pretty good. So if you ever see anybody on the ground, make sure to foul them. Pick up your tackle. This is your time to get your tackle. And kill some elves, guys.
Yep.
Moving on, we're going to go to Weenie Green Meanies with Death Schuttenheim. So, this team, this Goblin team, he's set up for his next match already. And I only know this because I did the recording earlier. And he's set up to get like 300k for the next match exactly.
Oh, good.
But, guys, do you think he should replace that Looney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we both know, or we all three know that one SVP away from leveling up, but you'd have to actually do a pass with him. It's possible, but you're using a stunty to do it.
Yeah.
So, I think that's where you should have probably cut him off earlier. Just
Yeah,
replace
you're
him and
right.
hope for the best.
Yep.
Because, they're only 40k. You're not losing too much in the bank.
Mm-mm.
And you got...
Did he lose a bomber? I thought he had a bomber.
I don't think he did. He didn't want the bomber probably because he would have to lose 3 people off the pitch for his value. So,
Most Goblin coaches that are more competitive won't use a bomb. From
yeah,
what
they
I've
buy
seen.
dribble stunt most of the time.
Yeah, bomber's just too unreliable. Doesn't really bring a lot to the table. other
It's a
than
decent
another
defensive
super
weapon, but if you go against elves, you're kind of asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, he's already got the Nuffle altar.
Yep. It's not that hard, I think, to get it. It's just 200k, and you build this team pretty much 200k down, so he probably just started with 0. So, he does have exactly what he needs. He's just hoping for home games, usually, and I'll help him out. His trolls are finally back for this game, as we were talking about earlier. So, it's going to be nice.
Done just nothing all season, it looks like.
Yeah. Hopefully his luck might change. This is the problem with goblins. They're just not really competitive. But I mean, you can have some fun. So hopefully we'll see that, like, you kill maybe Trunkhead stuff. That'd be pretty cool. Or Spoony Bard stuff.
Right.
So, next one we got the Wayside Wondermongers. Now I'm going to tell you what's from week 3 that we're going to probably ignore. So the second Blitzer, Wilson Wonder, he is new from week 3. Just ignore it if you want to keep this going. There used to be a catcher. He had plus movement over here in the middle. So
Okay.
he used to have plus 3 movements. He now has plus 3 movements. Okay, there we go. That's the big thing that I had to talk about. And
This is
the
a
one
lot
thing
of
he
blow.
does have money for now that we can look at it is that you can buy a blitzer. It's time to get that fourth blitzer there, Phil.
You know,
It's
Yeah, he needs a bench.
yeah, I was saying that in the last one, but he couldn't get the bench because his guy died now, so that's kind of sad. But the good thing is he can buy his blitzer and then 40k extra. He can get an extra lineman. I don't
Yep.
think the catcher's going to be on the priority list until he builds the bench and then puts a catcher on. Because I like 2 on humans, but he's going to need the bench first.
That's going to be awkward his next game. He's got a catcher and no thrower. So he's pretty much stuck with the running game.
well, it's a good thing
Yeah.
he's got all that movement then.
But the catcher also has catch, so you just put it on like a blitzer. You move up 8 squares and you hand off.
Yeah.
So that's all he has to really do. His team doesn't look bad at all, but just all this plus movement, man. Stop rolling
Yeah, they
tens, man.
Really underdeveloped for the team value that we're at on what's essentially week 6, because everybody got like 3 or so pre-games in.
Yeah.
So it's not a bunch of skills compared to some of the other teams that have.
I
like,
think
just
he
a
started
broad-
fresh when he came in.
Ah, okay. So no preseason.
Or I'm lying, because that's 7 games.
Yeah, no, everyone in our division had greenhorn games,
Yeah.
Oh,
just not necessarily all 4.
Okay, so he might have just lost the blitz earlier. Okay, so, yep, this is the time to finally replace it. And then after that next game, your team's going to be looking pretty good. You're going to be playing the inducement game, so have fun with that. Get your babes, get your whizzes, get your bribes, and take to the pitch, Philosophical. We're going to be moving on to the next one, and we got Spoony
Yeah.
Bards with Mutants in Human Clothing.
boo!
Boo. So he actually has a special team motto: 9 SPP and 2 bodies in the grave. So decided to do that. That troll and that blitzer.
Disgusting.
No. Give it away,
His
man.
second boots are building up.
Yeah. So his second one's getting there. So now that we're at his team, this is where you get to find out his weakness. His weakness is he has a lot of team bloat because of the bank and because of his thrower. So the way to beat him is you induce a chainsaw and you tear him up, or you get a good foul on his positionals. And if you take out his Skaven lineman, or not just Skaven lineman, but any of his Skaven players, this team gets considerably worse. Because if you take out
Yeah.
one of the throwers, one of the blitzers, it's a pretty huge deal. One thing I don't expect many people to get rid of unless you have Claw Mighty Blow, cough cough, is
Wait, what
killing
do
a
you
troll. So,
He plays pretty conservative with that Skaven blitzer. He gets in and out and then covers him really well. It's hard to get a hit on that guy unless like his dice go south and he leaves him stranded somewhere. Like,
yeah. Yeah, but he's
So-
never in base contact after a hit, usually.
nope.
So,
And then he screens really good with those goblins too, and kind of just puts them in the way. Like, don't care, they're fucking goblins.
yeah.
So it's hard to get a hit on those Skaven positionals, but yeah, once you do, if you can remove them, Underworld fall apart.
Yep. So, do you guys agree with the extra arms on this Skaven thrower?
Mm-hmm.
Think it's good even when he has the agility 5?
Maybe not with the agility 5. I mean, the extra arms on the normal agility, yeah, 2+ with a reroll, sure, sounds good.
Yeah.
But I mean, unless
think
he's
someone-
going for a big passing game, but I don't know.
Someone was suggesting that you stick dump off on the second thrower.
I was more suggesting leader,
Uh,
because leader's pretty good, considering he has the other one to actually just rely on until he gets
Mhm.
block or like accurate if he wants to just do all the shenanigans with passing. But if he can get dodge, I think that's going to be his better doubles than strong arm, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
This
he
team's
should
looking
be
interesting.
strong with 5 agility, but he didn't really play much of a passing game from what I've seen so far, and he's had that 5 agility guy for at least a couple games.
yeah, I think he's the if I need to run down into your end zone, I will use this person.
Yeah.
And you just run straight through and trust an AG5.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's finally got a two-heads goblin. I don't remember that being there.
I
But
think that's new from this week.
don't think so, because I saw it before. But, I think that's been there, but it's really nice because now you get to 2+ into anywhere, and he's going to be surfing anyone that tries a sideline cage, I bet. So that's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So now that
Yeah,
we are... Go ahead.
Oh, I'd have thought that, like, because they're Underworld, somebody would have tore them apart by now, but nope. Doing really well.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's holding up really well, team-wise. He's got a bunch of cash to replace guys, and, like, nothing serious has happened at all.
Yeah, one of the weird things with the league games is that people actually try to play the ball a lot more, and winning is more of a priority than surviving in most of these cases.
Mhm.
So most people actually don't go to pitch clear or do anything like that unless they're the goblins. So usually you actually don't see as much damage in an internal league from what I've seen until later.
Tell that to Brader.
I mean, Brader seems there, isn't it? So now we're going to go to Tribu Urbana with Hipster. So looking at what he has, he has basically all the base positionals you get from starting the team. Still has everybody, and then has great stat ups and a great double. So I like this catcher, by the way. Just he got the Mighty Blow instantly into a plus movement. Getting in block, I think I really like just the movement 9 blitzer that goes around and hits things.
Yeah, that's totally a thing.
So, the only downside to this team, I feel, is the linemen. With only one having a skill, they're all probably going to get beat up. And I think he's going to start losing his normal linemen and going to have to start using the loners they provide. So,
Which isn't necessarily a handicap for an elf team.
yeah, but it's going to let him not build up the dodge skill on a bunch of them. And it's also
Right.
not going to let him get kick as easy until one levels up. And then the third part is if he gets an extra positional now, that's an extra player. Having a bench is really nice. And he actually does have a bench of 12. So he bought a lineman sometime, and I guess he doesn't want to put on more catchers for some reason. So he is pretty high in team value, though, so I'm going to expect this one to be getting wizards against it a lot and many chainsaws. Many chainsaws. So, what do you guys think is the most disgusting piece on this?
Probably that catcher with Mighty Blow. That's pretty sick. He just needs dodge, and then he's set.
Yep.
Like, get in, hit something, get out.
It reminds me of how I build my Amazons, except with better stats.
Dear Cannon, what do you think is the most disgusting? Is it the same one, different one?
Oh no, totally that one.
Yeah.
We all agree, fuck that one. Fuck that piece.
Yeah. I think the only good thing he's got going for you guys is that he doesn't have dodge, so he's going to actually be one of the easy ones to hit,
Mm-hmm.
besides the lineman. So, just kill him now before he gets to anything really ridiculous. And then that agility 5, ugh. That's going to be wrestled leap, I believe.
Okay.
And then you're going to see some silly stuff.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one, we got the Grody Greens with Lazarus Diggs as a 1240 Nurgle team. Still missing his Nurgle Warrior, but everything else is pretty much solid.
Got the disgusting Strength 6 Beast of Nurgle.
Yeah, that Beast of Nurgle just... That's exactly what you want with tentacles. More strength.
It really is.
So,
At 6 strength, he can even keep Strength 3 guys holding still easily.
Oh, yeah.
yep.
The 9+. To get out of that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah. I think the first skill he should probably get would be Stand Firm
Mm-hmm.
instead of Guard like I would normally say. And then get guard after that, and he's going to be the perfect piece. Just freaking, you stick him there, you don't activate him, and then you just start forcing players onto him. It's going to be a fun time.
Yep.
Hard to get a even one die block on him.
Yep. And then if he rolls doubles and gets block, you pretty much made the perfect being.
Yeah, I wonder if he's saving up for that Nurgle Warrior or not, which would put him at 14 players.
Yep. Being at 50k, it looks like he's been buying routers from what I've been telling. But it could also be he's gotten atrocious money rolls, and I'm not sure. But he's gotten 2 Pestigors so far.
Too. I don't know.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think it's definitely he purchases that last Nurgle Warrior. And then as the routers start dying and you actually get money again, you get your Pestigors, and then you bank all day.
Yep. Yeah, pretty standard Nurgle stuff. Just, give them all block and wrestle and kind of hope that you can pick up the ball.
Yep. As long as your Pestigors are touchdowning, you're pretty much a decent team.
Yep.
So, speaking of, though, he has a bunch of people there and within like 3 points to level up. So, we might see some big development soon. Like maybe a Pestigor turning into Blodge, or getting his second skill of Tackle if he wants, or Mighty Blow. See a Killer pop up, and then that Nurgle Warrior may get guard.
I want to see a couple Mighty Blows on this team.
Yeah.
I want to see Mighty Blow on that Nurgle Warrior. I want to see Mighty Blow on one of those Pestigors.
Yeah, I think with the third Pestigor, it might start off with Mighty Blow if he doesn't get it on one of these two he has so far. And then I think this Warrior needs guard next.
Yeah, from what I know of Lazarus, he'll rotate guard and Mighty Blow.
Yep. And then I think his fourth Pestigor, he's definitely going to have to be able to wrestle one. And then you put on all the mutations to do silly stuff to him. Make him agility 4.
Might also be waiting to see if any of them roll Agi up.
Yeah. So, we'll see if that's a thing. His team's looking pretty solid, except for the Nurgle Warrior, as stated a bunch of times.
Yep.
Has a ton of routers, though.
Shabby, history-wise, like 3 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses. Nurgle starts so terrible.
Yep.
So pretty much every team can just run circles around you.
And looking at it, he had Owen's team in the first week, and he drew him on a 1-1. And that's pretty good against some Shorves. Then he had Spoony Bard, and only managed to get 2-1. So I would have to say he did pretty good there. And then a 1-0 grind from him to the Fen Beast, which is quite surprising considering everything. But I think that was week 3, so I've gone too far. So, this team's looking pretty nice. And now we're going to move on to Fallen Wonders, with our 1140 Amazon team that likes guard.
They're 1250 that Blitzer being out.
Yep, and he does have 30k TB bloat, so he's going to need to trim that before the next one. He could take a extra line woman, which isn't the worst. Or he can just decide to buy a couple cheerleaders and then sell them off again to reduce it. Then he also has a stadium enhancement he could buy to reduce 100k.
Yep.
But this team's gotten exactly what he wants, besides extra wrestle line women, I think. He's got his strong arm thrower, so then it can get pass and sure hands after that. And then that's actually a pretty decent throw. It's like passing with agility 5.
Yeah, stacking all that guard is so crucial to Amazon. And that's definitely the way to go with it.
Yeah. I might have taken a Mighty Blow by this point, though.
It is good to have one, but...
Yeah.
I mean, how's he holding up game-wise? Looks like he's doing pretty good. 3-2-1.
Yeah. And in the league so far, he has won once and tied once, so he's not doing too bad. The one thing I think he might need is just to get all these 5 out of 6 one pass, so like getting the catcher a pass and getting that line woman a pass, and those 2 levels will pretty much put it above where it is right now with where it should be at, because that's going to get you your much needed block and your much needed wrestle on this team and start doing some stuff. And then it looks like
he's
that.
almost at a point where he could cut a reroll too.
Yep.
Drop down to 3 and he'd be okay.
So Amazons are one of those teams where you want to basically keep them very, very, very trim, and then have players. So the good news is, though, that he's actually doing his job pretty well on that front. No one's gotten too many doubles. He's only gotten one so far, and the rest are just all normal level ups. So the 1 out of 6 doubles is pretty decent. So moving on to this next team, we got Wellington Shadow Society, Stringer Bell. And he's got his Movement 8 Vampire.
That is such a weird, like, 2 rerolls.
And leader.
I don't get that at all. I see
He,
that he's
he
got
does have
leader.
leader.
He didn't start with leader, man.
Yeah, I
He
know.
started with 2 rerolls. Like,
Some people
2
are mental,
rerolls
man.
and 5 vampires.
I'm so confused.
I'm not sure if he started with the 5th Vampire. But it could have been.
Not sure either. But
Actually-
he did have it in his first game, so
Yeah.
either he picked it up during Greenhorn or he started with it. So
He could have started with it and one may have died. And that's probably why he's all the way down there. Me personally, I keep switching everyone that's a positional up and every line person down. Just so it lets me see it. Because, like, there's now a thrall between all those vampires and I find it very weird.
yeah,
But,
and I know he's been diced a couple times by Bloodlust by not having those rerolls.
yeah. Can't say it's dice when you don't have rerolls, though.
I
That's
feel like
true.
packing 2, you're just asking for it. Vampires.
Yep. The good news
Still
is
doing
that
really well,
he's
though.
40k off from buying his 3rd reroll, which
Yep.
after he gets that reroll, I think he's good to buy a couple more thralls and start cycling the bad ones like that Niggle. And then once he does that, he can buy his 4th reroll, and then that leader could just be his 5th, and he'll be in a really good spot after that point, I would feel. Now, do either of you know how Wrestle works with a vampire bloodlusting?
Does it cancel it? No, I have no idea. I've never run into that, I guess.
So,
We just had this discussion, and I'm pretty sure with Wrestle, he still gets the bite off because it's not a turnover.
yeah, so he'll just lay down, and then he can still bite that thrall next to him by standing up, and then he
Like
just
his
falls back
ankles
down.
or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's weird. Stun thralls will also stand up for it too.
Huh.
Yep. So that's the weird thing. But he's got the kick which he needed, considering now he has an elf going around.
I don't know about the accurate either. It feels like there's a lot of skill choices here that
Yeah.
don't make super huge amounts of
Yeah.
sense to me.
I would have taken pass if he wanted a passing one, but I would have taken another block there or a dodge,
Yes.
because that's what he's missing. Just rerolls for anything besides the actual literal reroll.
Yeah.
And then the wrestle's weird too. I mean, I guess maybe unless he's gonna get leap later, is the plan.
Or he does have what is it, hypnotic gaze. So
Right.
wrestle isn't the worst idea, especially since he can cancel a tackle zone, then run in, and then do it.
I guess it depends on like how foul heavy your league is too.
Yep.
Like Dark Cannon was like doing GFIs to foul me, man. He was all about it. I don't know.
Emery, man. That's what we do.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
And Gengar would kick me out of the league if I didn't.
Yep. I'm sure the Underworld and Goblin foul happy as well, and just taking wrestle just seems like you're asking to get your expensive piece taken out.
Yep. Though I think he would probably be doing this team a favor, getting rid of one of the vampires. You know?
You think 4?
Yeah, 4 is generally a really nice amount, especially until you get all the rerolls you want.
Yeah.
Because usually, from my math, you want 1 reroll to 1 vampire. And you just chuck it on with that. But definitely not the one vampire, one reroll team. Don't do that. So,
So I have seen him play this team, and normally he's only got 4 vampires on the pitch, which
so one's a
helps with that.
replacement.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
for
that makes
replacement. But then he's carrying around a 110k player
To not use them.
bench.
Yeah. But it's like it's the trade-off where he can't be biting and moving that player all the time, so it's nice to have the replacement for the vampire when you need it. And I'm not actually too opposed if he keeps putting him on the bench. He's just going to need more thralls is the only problem.
Yeah, and he has been doing very well despite only having the 2 rerolls. So
Yeah.
obviously it's working for him.
Yep. So, moving on to our next one, we got Tooth and Fist finally by you, Michaels.
Yeah, those guys are amazing.
So, where did we get these names from?
It is the team names are just generated, and that was fail. Yeah, I should have named them.
No.
Yeah, fuck that up. It's lazy. Just being lazy.
I mean, my team, I accidentally did the... Oh, I could actually name my players. Too bad I already made them. And I was already
Yeah.
in the league, and I already made them have a match.
I was thinking I'd just fire everyone once I saved up enough to replace them all.
No, they just get nicknames. Like, you get your Blodge Agility guy. That's his new name. The Elf.
There you go. Well, I got 2 guys named Sextus, so I don't know if they're related or how that works. They're both useless, so no idea.
Especially that troublemaker, man. He can't even
Yeah.
stand up and move back to where he was hit from.
That's
So,
okay. He's usually not hit from very far, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as they can stand up and get in the way, then I'm happy.
Then, we're not going to talk about that Flesh Golem taking minus armor. That didn't happen, guys. So.
Nope. It's all
Or the
magic.
missing zombie.
We do have the Claw Mighty Blow already on the field, so we have another team with Claw Mighty Blow in this division. Super spooky. And then the schools are
Last.
both Blodge, but how come you didn't take Wrestle on Pebble Flare?
I don't really need it. I don't think. I don't feel like I need it.
I think
I'm
you'd
using
probably be
ghouls
really
to-
good to get Wrestle Tackle and go against the Blodges that go down your field.
Yeah, I don't agree with you. I think you're wrong.
Okay.
I'm not using anybody to run the ball for the most part, except for ghouls. If I have to use a white or a werewolf in a pinch, I will. But for the most part, those are the ball carriers. So I don't want them to have the potential to, someone hits me with block, we both go down, and I don't have the ball anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm not using them to sack. I'm using whites and wolves to sack,
Okay.
where they don't really need wrestle because they have frenzy.
It's the cheap man's tackle, too.
Exactly. Yeah, frenzy works great. 4 dice instead of 2 with the wrestle. Sure.
Yeah.
That works.
So, with your Blodge White, is he going to go guard next?
Yeah, unless I get another double for sidestep. Sidestep guard is pretty nice. But yeah, if he doesn't, then yeah, guard and then probably stand firm.
Yeah, I don't think I'd get sidestep, mostly because stand firm's that 10k less, and it does, I would say maybe
Yeah,
a better job sometimes. I guess it depends on the situation. But,
Mhm.
yeah. It's an interesting choice there. Then you got your other
I
one.
wasn't even sure on taking the dodge. I was thinking about just skipping it for guard, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
because
no,
the
the-
team, it's early development, so
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of tackle to really worry about.
Yeah.
And I could use the guard more right now.
That Blodge white is gold.
Yeah,
Um,
he really held his own that last game, so I'm glad I went with it.
Yep. Dodge is nice, but I can see where he came from for the guard. The one person I would say you'd never skip dodge on would be a Flesh Golem, because they're already ready to just dodge in place, so
Yep,
it's pretty
just take
nice.
the hits.
Well, it's also strength 3, so it might be better just to make him blodge, and then you get tackle and guard, and get your stand firm then. just so you have someone that's a mobile sacker too.
Yeah, he might just even die next match. So there's that.
Maybe. But team's looking pretty solid, man.
Yeah, I gotta get that other wolf some levels though. He's getting ignored.
Happens.
So I tried to get him some SPPs the last couple games. So he's coming along, but it's slow development in him. I'm not too into the idea of like, I'll try to pick up the ball with this guy when I have agility 4 guy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with one SPP away now, it's turn 8. You don't want a one turn.
Right.
You're gonna throw that pass to the agility 4 and hope for the best.
Yep.
So he's not in the
Yeah,
worst
we'll
situation
see.
anymore. Not getting
No,
ignored
it's
like
not
that
too
poor
bad.
white.
Right. That poor bastard.
Yeah. Eventually an MVP will land on his head, right?
Yeah, the flesh golems aren't holding their own either. I mean, it's all this 2 dice, both down skull, both down skull. So
Yeah.
like, I don't want to throw a block with you. You just get in the way. We're good.
Yep.
No worries.
They're 1 in 9 kings right there.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of coaches that can actually keep their flesh golems alive, and they're called like heroes.
Right.
So
Yeah, and the regen rules have been merciless, so
yeah.
I think I'll be replacing a lot of flesh golems this season.
So we got our next coach owned with the Merciless Avengers at 1370 with his Chaos Dwarf team.
Who are disgusting.
So ignore this second claw with guard, because that's new. He has his 1 Mighty Blow claw, like it's part of the division now. That's just your team motto, or your division motto. We have claw already. And then the his break tackle bull is 2 off from leveling.
Mm-hmm.
And his team basically has exactly what it needs, but 3 guard. I'm just still surprised that Amazon team has as much guard as them already. Like, these guys are supposed to be the ones stacking it everywhere.
Yeah.
And what do we get? We get Mighty Blow Claw.
Yeah. Can't pass up that double, man.
No.
Gotta take it.
And basically this is his ideal team right now. With 130k in the bank. He has a ton of money just to have. He has 2 decent bulls for where he's at right now. He's definitely going to need to start giving him touchdowns or hoping for a random Kaz. And then he's got a team of 13. So I don't think
he's
he
not
actually wants to
bloated.
buy anything.
Yeah, no, he really doesn't. He wants to get a couple of dirty players in those hobgoblins.
Yeah.
He wants to get the second levels on those bull centaurs.
Yeah. Especially those guys 1 pass away. That's your turn 8. I'm going to throw just for 1.
He
And
does
You
the,
know-
the bull centaur ball carrier too.
Does he?
Yeah, he'll try it for a couple rounds, and if it looks like it's getting tight, he'll just grab it with a hobgoblin and give up. But he'll try the bull centaurs first.
yeah. That's generally what you want to do with them if you can, in my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just, hey, let's get the development on these guys finally. And then they get 2 skills and then like sure hands. Or they start with sure hands, depending on how you like
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So it's pretty solid. Just,
Yeah, it looks pretty standard.
he's rolled the
Sure, we'll
decent
start.
amount of doubles now.
Yeah, we'll start seeing Mighty Blow on all of those fucking dwarves soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. Don't look forward to the day of that.
No.
Now we're going to go to our perfect team over here with Common Consulting. So,
I thought it was Cayman.
Common.
Common? Common?
Common.
Okay.
Like Tutankhamun.
Gotcha.
so you want to explain your team to us?
Not sure. There's not a whole lot going on here. Started with the 2 Blitzraw start,
Yep.
which I usually use to feed my Blitzraw's touchdowns, but that hasn't happened this time. I picked up the 2 Throw-Raws.
So when you started up, I thought you could start with a thrower on 2 Blitzraws pretty easily. And did you just choose not to do that, or?
No, it's a Thrower on a Blitzraw or 2 Blitzraws.
Okay.
or you give up a team reroll.
Yeah, because I do the give up a
Really
team
not really
reroll
good.
and you take your positionals up. That's
You
my
really
personal.
want to start with the three rerolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only 2 pieces with block, and you've got Agi 2 across the board.
It's a fair enough point. But
I want all the reels in there.
I played Rookie Chaos before. I know how to 1-9 like a champ. So, really, your team's pretty solid right now. You got more Mighty Blow from, this next match that we shouldn't be seeing.
Yep.
But you got the bench, so I think I was saying you should take another skeleton just to get up to 13, and then you could just foul everything. You can even do one without the dirty player to do it.
Against Trunky Wood next week, so I was probably going to wait to see how his match went, so I could,
I think he's playing at this very
play
moment.
with the inducements.
So you'll be able to see that. Yeah, you're inducement Camry, man. You enjoy that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's worked out great.
how much
Actually,
is
it worked out pretty well this last match.
how much is hack and slash?
120.
Okay, so as long as you can keep that much in between you, if you get the bribe, because I think Trunky Wood's pretty high TV, especially after coming
Yeah, he
through an
is.
elf ball match, might see some interesting stuff.
Testing. Yeah, right now, if there's any players I can get a bribe and hack. So
Okay. So I would say moving on, but that's all the teams we have because we got AI. So looking at week 3, we're going to see a couple of the matchups already done. But what do you think is left to see for this next week? Like, which would you be wanting to see happen, and who do you think would win?
I'd like to see Trunk get demolished, but I don't think we will.
So you
but
got
I'd
the
like
Pro
to.
Elves on them. So that's going to be interesting there. That's literally going on at this moment. Don't know how it's going, though. So hopefully they die. Maybe.
Yeah.
And then,
The Wellington versus Fogmire is a real toss-up. I think that could go either way.
yep. Because
yeah.
the thing is with vampires, like, his team is a very wide range of good or bad. If he fails the Bloodlust, it's not going to be a good game in there, I think. But if he can just not Bloodlust at all, that's probably going to be an unwinnable situation for those lizards, I would imagine.
Yep.
Especially considering he's actually going to be fielding more strength than him with all those vampires running around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real toss-up.
So,
All in Wonders is
That's the Amazons.
the
yeah.
Amazons. Yeah, so I'm sure they'll get a win versus the
Goblins. I'm not always sure about that because goblins are always like, I'll throw 3 dice at you with my fanatic and then I'll chainsaw you.
Right.
So,
So it goes off against the Amazon team.
Yeah.
He could be looking at a world of hurt.
this is one of those, you never know if AV7 will hold up either way. But with the 3 guard, it might be a bit harder to,
Yeah, that'll help.
which I think
Yeah,
he
no.
got a 300k so far in between these guys, so that's going to be all 3 bribes and then 150 extra. What do you think he would induce with that? Would we see Nabla come up and be 120k, or
Well, he's got the Knuffles altar, so it really depends on whether it ends up as a home match.
I think that is a home match since he's on the left side.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'll check.
So,
Yep, if it's on the left side, it's a home stadium from what I'm seeing.
so that's 30k for 2 star players. That leaves him 120 for something else.
Yep. And maybe Bomber Dribble Snot, and then
Yeah.
something else.
Bomber. Yeah.
Maybe some babes. So that's a lot of cash to use there, considering the Knuffles altars in play. He might get Ripper. Ripper's pretty
I
good.
totally see Ripper. Yep.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that guy.
So that's going to be interesting. And I think that's going to be it for Division 5 Alpha. You guys have any last thoughts you want to say?
I think we covered it all, man.
Yeah, sounds good.
We got I Hate Spoonie's team and I Hate Trunks team in there, right? We went over that.
No, I don't think you got enough of it.
I'm not liking the look of Owen's team either, so.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, there's some real bashers in there.
if there was one thing to say is, stop getting claw guys, don't do it, and stop getting movement ups literally everywhere, guys. I think we have, let me count, 1, 2, 3 from Phil's team, 2 on Trunkhead's team, and 2 on the Wellington Shadow Society, which is Stringer Bell. So that puts us up to 8 movement across 3 teams.
Jesus.
And it could have been
That's
9 if
insane.
one didn't die.
Oh, that's crazy.
So you guys need to stop speeding through these, and you have fun. So other than that, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Iron Master here, and we've had Dark Cannon. He's not going to say goodbye because he's that cool. And then we got Michaels.
Woo!
So,
Probably.
woo probably, I like it. So that's been the end of this. Have fun and enjoy your day.